the blade. So 1, 2. Deploying my blade strike.
If I hit it hard and I enter, I'm already with the knife cutting.
When you make a cut, Hi tribe, and welcome to this new video in which of course I will continue to share my knowledge with you, and in this particular episode I want to make you understand that tactical combat system, the system that I am teaching, is based on a set of principles. Many of you are asking me, Matei, what I am doing if in my country the law is not permitting me to carry a blade or a knife. I am a law-abiding citizen and I want to respect the law and to not have problems with the police. And here it's coming a very sensitive topic, and I want to underline that I am promoting the idea of a protector, an individual that uses his skills to protect his own life, his family and the ones around him. So it's your duty as a protector to have the right tactics, the right combat mindset and the right tools to make that job. You don't want tomorrow to be in a situation in which you must protect your son, your daughter, your family, and you don't have the tools. And here I'm not talking only about a combat situation, but can be also a medical situation. You have a situation in which you must apply your trauma medical skills, but you don't have the tools to stop a massive bleeding. It's not helping you with nothing. So understand that the idea of a protector means to have the right tools, the right knowledge and the right combat mindset. And in this video I will show you one method in which you can replace a blade, a knife, that it's illegal in many countries to carry by civilians, with a tool that it's legal to carry and can produce the same damages as a blade, and of course also can incapacitate and eliminate the target. So guys, I have here two of my options from my ADC. Here I have an Obake from CRKT. It's a very good weapon designed to thrust, to penetrate and to create a lot of damages with one sharp edge. In the other part I have from Microtech the tactical penetrator, that basically it's a spike, and it's one of my other options, especially when I go in less permissive environments. Here I was putting a duct tape in such a way that when I deploy it to have a better grip on my tool. So what are the differences between these objects? Now of course, if we talk about efficiency, the knife is more efficient, it's logical, because doesn't have only the part that you can thrust with it, but also a part that you can sever, you can cut, you can lacerate tissues, blood vessels, so on. So if I need to thrust, for example, one of our shock zones, that is the trachea, and I'm entering with that blade inside the trachea, I have also the possibility, because I have a sharp edge, to rip towards me and to sever, to lacerate the carotid artery. Okay, it's also the jugular vein there, but I'm talking about arteries because these are more important. The blood is circulated with more pressure in the arteries. So it's creating more damage. But we pass now to the tactical spike, to the tactical penetrator, that of course doesn't have the possibility to lacerate that blood vessel, but has the possibility to strike the shock zones. Because again, I repeat, shock zones like the trachea, like the eye, like the kidneys, like the heart, can only be stabbed, so I need a stabbing motion to access it. Yeah, if we refer to the cuts, Again, they are important, they can create damage, you can lacerate an important blood vessel, carotid artery, axillary artery, branchial artery, femoral artery, and so on, and it will lead to the death of the target, but not in that moment. It will not stop him in that moment from his action, because it will need at least 1 minute, depending on the mass of the target, depending on how deep it's the laceration, to go unconscious, in 3-4 minutes until he is losing the amount of blood that is leading to his death. So you don't stop him in that moment, especially if it's under the influence of different kind of substances, drugs and so on, or only because of the adrenaline. He can continue his action for a limited amount of time, of course, but you don't stop him in that moment. The shock zones can be accessed only by striking, and this tool has that characteristics of striking, of penetrating, of stabbing. So I can incapacitate the target by inserting with power this tool in the eye, in the orbit of the eye, penetrating in the cavernous sinus, of course, yeah. I can penetrate the trachea with it, of course, yeah. I can penetrate between the intercostal spaces to stab the heart, yeah, of course, yeah. 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6 intercostal spaces. You can insert the tool, especially if it must have also good length. If it's a short blade, you cannot access it from laterally. You can access the heart from up under the clavicle. Yes, of course, you can access it, stabbing the heart. You can lacerate also the subclavian artery, possible because it has some sharp edges in the tip, but it's not more efficient than the knife, that if you thrust with the blade towards you, you will lacerate also the subclavian artery. I can, access the heart from down up, going to the xiphoid process, sternum bone under, directed towards the left shoulder to access the heart, of course, yes. So I can do the shock strikes using only a tool that is penetrating. It has the characteristic of penetration. So if I have this tomorrow and I am a law-abiding citizen, how many of you are putting this problem? You don't want problems with the police. If you are catch with this, of course, it will be bad because it's a real blade and it's not designed for cutting onion. It's designed for combat. If you will have this, in many states also this will be not allowed because of his shape, but in other countries it will be more accessible. This, for example, is designed also with a glass breaker. So when I break, if I need to, to give a reason for why do I carry this, can be because it's an emergency tool to break the glass, yeah. But of course has also the characteristic and is designed for combat. And again, it's tactical, it's dragging attention, and also can create a lot of problems. Now we pass to the next part. Tactical penetrator, screwdriver. I take them both and I try to identify a common characteristic, and that is the possibility to thrust, to stab, to penetrate soft tissues. So the both are having one of the characteristics of the knife, and that is of thrusting, of stabbing. Can a screwdriver be more efficient than the tactical penetrator or the knife? Of course no. This tool, for example, is designed to thrust in soft tissues, is designed for combat. This was designed with other purposes. But I can incapacitate or kill a target using a screwdriver? Of course yes. Go on the internet, search. Victims dies after a screwdriver attack, or dies because of a screwdriver attack. So this tool has this form, this shape, and it's permitting very easy to access the heart, stabbing between the ribs in the intercostal spaces. The majority of the cases in which the victim was dying by a screwdriver attack, it was because it was stabbing the heart. Don't imagine, what rush in a high-speed grip and multiple stabs, because that is not realistic using a screwdriver. You can create damage or use it as an impact weapon and also stabbing, but it will not have the same effect like a direct strike. When you know human anatomy and you know where to strike, simple strike that is going in the right direction and it's stopping all there. So the majority of the victims were dying because their heart was penetrated with a screwdriver. Of course, depending also of the length of the screwdriver and so on. We discussed about this in the part of the human anatomy when I was showing you with the heart how to access it. So it's not efficient as a tactical penetrator, as a combat weapon, as a knife that is designed for this, but I can incapacitate or kill my target using a screwdriver that is totally legal. Nobody, and you cannot have problems if you have a screwdriver at you. So I was identifying in another tool a characteristic that can help me to produce the same damages. Can I access a shock zone like the eye, for example, with a screwdriver? Of course, it's the same idea. I use the penetration characteristic, so I'm entering with my screwdriver inside in the orbit of the eye, penetrating with this shape in the cavernous sinus and also maybe in the skull, depending on the length and the power that I'm striking. Can create this more damage to the globe of the eye, to the anatomy of the eye? No, because the knife has also a sharp edge. So when I'm entering with a knife inside, I'm entering and then I can rip towards me. So that sharp edge will also create more damage than only entering inside. When you have a sharp object like this, the majority of times, because of the shape, conic shape of the eye, of the orbit of the eye, and because of the round shape of the eye, it's possible to go between the globe of the eye and the orbit of the eye, the bones part of it, yeah. So it will enter between them, and many times were happening this kind of situation, and you can check it out in real studies. But what this form can do, because of the shape, and especially because of the orbit of the eye shape that is coming like a cone, will direct this screwdriver towards the cavernous sinus, and also of course maybe passing into the brain, thrusting the skull bones. Here I want a little bit of to remind you that is not like in the movies. It doesn't mean that you penetrate the skull and you enter in the brain and he's dying like you see in the movies. The only part of the brain that can be lacerated, severed, and is shutting down all is the brainstem. In other parts you can strike with it and it's possible that your victim is not only surviving, but it will be also conscious when it will arrive to hospital or something else. And here I'm talking also about real cases in which people that they were working, they were having this accident works, and for example a metal bar was penetrating their skull, exiting to the other part, and they were still conscious, because our brain is split in more parts, and each part it has a function or more functions. So that particular function, it will be affected, like I don't know, equilibrium, seeing, hearing, and so on, memory, and so on. So don't believe everything that you see. Of course, that powerful strike, and also when it will penetrate in the skull, will produce a lot of damages, and it's a shock strike. You cannot fight anymore if you have a blade in your eye or it was passing towards your cavernous sinus. So I can deliver this strike with a screwdriver. I pass to the heart, or no, let's go to the trachea. I can thrust that trachea with a screwdriver. Of course, yes. Yeah? I can penetrate with a screwdriver with the power, very easy, the trachea, the pipe. Imagine that there are cases in which people were stabbed in the heart, thrusting in the sternum bone. And the sternum bone, it's a very, very strong bone. And they were thrusting using a screwdriver towards penetrating the sternum, entering in the heart. Of course, if you think of this kind of of hitting methods, I don't think it's possible. You don't have so much power from here to strike, and the pointed part of the screwdriver is not like the tactical penetrator or a knife, so pointed. So I don't think it's possible to make this. The situation in which this was happening is that the victim was falling on the ground, and the ground was functioning as a support, like a force in which when they were delivering these strikes from up with power, the body cannot go back because it was stopped, it was behind, it was the ground, so it was actually like two forces, one that was hitting and one that was keeping the victim there. So the power of penetration, it was more powerful. If I can access and can I penetrate, and there are cases of penetration through the sternum bone, imagine that the trachea, it's very easy to penetrate. I can also create damage to the carotid arteries or the jugular veins. No, I don't have the part of that is helping me, that I don't have the sharp edge of it like the knife. But trusting the trachea, yes, and of course it's a shock zone. Heart shock zone, I can access it, of course, yes. Lateral, left side of the victim, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, between the ribs, intercostal spaces, trusting. Of course, if I am going from 5 to 6 ribs, for example, my type of striking, because the ribs are coming in this direction, yeah, they are not straight, they are coming a little bit in diagonal, must be from down up, entering between that and going to the heart, and it's depending a lot of the length of your screwdriver, if you talk about the screwdriver. Hitting, accessing the heart from the lateral side, hitting, accessing the heart from up. My target is a little bit higher, so this kind of movement making from here is more harder in this situation, but entering on the left side, behind the clavicle, going down towards the heart. I can access it from down. I have the xiphoid process, the sternum bone, and I can come from down up, entering like an uppercut, entering inside, going with my screwdriver towards the left shoulder, accessing that heart. Another way, you have the sternum bone, and this of course is very hard to penetrate with a one step standing in the fits your target. But immediately after the sternum bone is finishing, they are starting the ribs and the intercostal spaces. So the things that the method in which you can access on the lateral, you can make it also in front, but not where is the sternum bone. Yeah, I'm referring when you are in the fits. So also here are intercostal spaces between the ribs, and you can access it also with a straight strike if you enter it directly with the strike inside. This more with a knife. If I have a screwdriver, I will prefer more the ice-pick grip, because I have more power of penetration. It's more powerful in the idea that the tip, this is a Phillips type of screwdriver with this star in front, and it's not so sharp, so I need also some power. So shock zones, I can access it with a screwdriver. I can incapacitate or eliminate the target. Kidneys, of course, yes. Yeah. The only part, you have the last ribs that they are protecting a little bit the kidneys on the back. So if you are going a little bit from down up, you very easy can access it and penetrate towards the kidneys. Between 2 and 3 million nerves in the kidneys, a very powerful shock strike. More difficult to strike when you have the target in front, because your targets that you must aim are on the back of your aggressor. Okay, now we pass to the other part. Many will say, okay Matei, but how I carry a screwdriver? The idea of deploying when you are in an ambush that screwdriver very fast from your pocket, it's not functioning, and it's true. One of the main elements that I'm teaching after awareness is being able to deploy fast your weapon in time for the fight. So that is depending a lot of the weapon that you have, you choose, and your concealed carry method. And the normal one is simple. I am taking my shirt up. In diagonal, I have my blade already because I'm carrying it in the appendix position. I am ready if I want to strike or to do a technique. And now I will give you a tip how you can create for this sheet in such a way that you can also carry it. First of all, you must choose the right screwdriver. So the metal part must be inserted until of the top of the handle, and it must be a very resistant one. You must look at the shape of this is the Phillips shape star, but there are many models. Some of them are more pointed. So to try this, you can take very simple, and to make a test, take a chunk of pig meat with skin, with fat, with muscle, big one, and try to make on it different kind of strikes, and you will see the power of penetration of every tip, and you will understand what is the best suitable for this kind of I don't know, techniques to use for penetration. After you choose the right screwdriver, there are existing so many little companies, small companies, that they are creating Kydex holsters or Kydex sheets for the knives. So choose one and order a custom sheet for this screwdriver that you can carry at you, and also it's increasing your ability to deploy fast this tool, in the idea that you don't want to carry a knife because you don't want to have problems with the police, or I don't know, other kind of ideas. And this will help you to transform this tool in a very, very good weapon that can incapacitate or eliminate the target. And now, only to make an idea, because I was searching through my knives and I find the sheet that it's very good for the screwdriver. It's entering perfect, it's not going left right, it's standing, it's very fixed. And I only want to imagine, to make an exercise of imagination, to understand that if you want to have this kind of weapon, if you custom a real Kydex sheet for it, you can put it and carry it in a normal position, exactly like all the weapons. Of course, here at my screwdriver is the one that I was finding in my house. But if you want really to transform this in a tool for your ADC, so it can also be a weapon when you need it, of course, this handle is too big. It can, if I have my clothes and I have it on me, it's possible to drag too much attention sometimes, yeah? Especially if I'm not aware, and if I'm twisting, look a little bit, if it's blowing the wind, for example. So you must choose the right kind of screwdriver, so it's adapting also to your type of dress code. So you put it's the same in the appendix position, and I have it here. If I need to use it, it's the same thing. So I have the same, how I'm using with the tactical penetrator, I can use this, the same deployment, nothing is changing. I have the sheet of the knife here, and it's the same movement. I'm catching the t-shirt and liberating, going in diagonal, taking my screwdriver and be ready to use it. Many, you know, from the prison, from other parts, where they are intimates, they are changing the shape of it, make it more easy to penetrate, yeah, more sharp at the tip of it. But I don't recommend this, because if you are in the situation tomorrow to really, you are in a country and you want to be a law-abiding citizen, and you will use that screwdriver to defend yourself, and you will kill the victim, and it was modify the shape, then of course you are not anymore in the same category, because you are carrying a normal tool, a screwdriver, and you defend yourself, because that was changed, was modified in such a way that you can easily kill somebody. So if you want to choose a screwdriver that is having this Phillips type, more pointed, but don't modify it. It's very simple to find the right sheet, to custom one, and then to use to strike the target. I'm not striking in the mannequin because I will destroy it also with this. But it's the same concept. I'm not making nothing different. I am here, I can strike and then coming with another strike. So all the techniques based on my strategy that you are making, you can make it also with this. I want to step hard, I am entering there. So very easy, nothing is changing. I am only going and perform my techniques. Easy carry, easy deployment, the same as I use a knife. So now I will pass to the last part of this video in which I want to show you how you can access the heart of the target on the left side in the moment in which you are also evading, moving, disengaging from the danger zone. In my majority of the videos you see me using the blade, I'm striking the trachea and moving back. This because the space where I'm filming is permitting me only in this way to move. But you must understand, and now I was moving the target a little bit in diagonal, in such a way that you understand that movement or disengaging from the X zone is made in all the directions where you can. So let's say if the only place where I can evade is in my diagonal there, then of course that I will make my technique and I will evade in that direction. So here, striking the trachea and evading in that direction. And now I will talk how you can access this part of the heart when you are also moving, because we are trying not only to strike and to be fast with the knife and staying here. It will not help me so much. It will be like a the lotto, 50-50. If I don't manage to give a precise strike, because in reality it will not be so easy like on this fixed target, my target will have unpredictable movements, it's possible that I also receive his blows, and it's possible that his blows can be more deadly than mine. So I want to be able to move, to deploy and to strike in the same time. The same idea with the fire weapons. If somebody is taking me he's aiming at me, and now I'm seeing it, and I'm remaining on the place, trying to deploy my weapon, aiming and try to shoot. If it's a good shooter, I will be already dead. So the main idea is that I must move, begin to move, deploy and shoot. Aim and shoot, yeah? Here is the same. We are not making this 1, 2, and then move. We are making 1, and in this particular one I'm striking and also trying to disengage from my target, from there, from the danger zone. And now we will understand how to access the hard part on the left side. And this is the reason why we give here, it's a little bit of talking about the trachea. The trachea and also the eye, but now I'm talking about the trachea. When I'm striking that trachea, when you deliver a punch to somebody in the neck, I all the time tell you this, and it's not because I say so, because this is the natural reaction of your body. If you take a punch or a big hit in your trachea, you will go with the hands immediately trying to go on the neck. The same if you take a blade, the shock, it will be much more powerful. And basically this we are doing, we are creating that shock in such a way that his hands will come in this position, or it will be up. It will make him make this kind of movement, and this part will remain free to access the heart with the knife in the moment that I go. But this is requiring that I have my movement must be on his left part, yeah? Because that is the part where can I access very good the heart. So what I'm doing is striking my target in the trachea, and in the same time, of course, now I'm doing very easy, I am moving. When I'm moving, in this particular time, I will twist my body from that type of movement and thrust between the intercostal spaces, going, stabbing, thrusting that heart. After I'm doing this, I have two options to continue straight towards my point of evasion, or to here to thrust and twist towards the target if I have other kind of tactics. So basically here is the same thing. 1, 2, going. Go. Here I'm twisting, but the main idea is that I'm trying to disengage from my target. Of course here, when you see me that I'm going, I'm stopping there from the same reason, the space that I have. But normally if you want to create distance, 3-4 meters at least, if you have the luxury of space. So again, very simple. Striking, I'm already trying to move, striking trachea, having the effect, the reaction of his body, liberating me, the left side, in the moment that I'm moving, thrusting with my blade between his intercostal spaces, creating distance. So if now we go to our concept with the screwdriver, this technique is going very good because I have only striking, penetrating technique. So I have one, I'm starting to move, strike the trachea, enter in the trachea, continuing my moving. It's only one step, if you understand here, long in which I want to make this movement. Now I'm stopping only to show you step by step how it is. So, one striking, strike move, liberating the part, it's liberating, coming inside, a little bit from down up because of the direction, and then continuing my movement, or twisting of course. I'm not hitting my target. Again, I repeat, I don't want to destroy my training dummy. Here, in this position, you can see the best that if I was choosing to carry this type of screwdriver in this type of way, it will have the print of the weapon. So this is a good lesson you to see that this must not appear, it must not be there. For somebody that knows to identify these signs will know that there is a blade or something. Yeah, it's something unnatural. This is the reason why you must choose, because this has a very big handle, something that is more easy to conceal. But in the sake of demonstrating you and talk about this subject today, I was using what I have around. But understand please the elements. So again, from here, deploying, taking, stabbing, thrusting that trachea or the eye, wherever you want to enter, and then continuing your moving, thrusting between the intercostal spaces, protecting also your left side when you are doing this, and then of course moving, continuing your movement. Again guys, I want to underline that these techniques that I'm showing you are for ambushing and counter-ambushing situation, are not for dueling. Somebody is taking the blade out and I take also my blade and I want to make this technique, because it will not work. These are based on the surprise attack, ambushing or counter-ambushing techniques. The same base of an idea of movement. If I want to, the only possibility is to go back. I'm not making 1, 2, or staying here and make I don't know how many strikes. I'm in the same place. So if I need that strike, it's 1 and going back. I'm already taking my body from there in the same time that I'm moving. Doesn't matter the distance, I'm increasing more. You must make the same thing. I'm moving in the idea that if my strike was not delivering this shock because of the situation, because I was not so precise, because many elements that can influence this, if he make the same thing in the same moment, to not be, if he's also delivering his attack, to not be anymore there. It's not one and I wait for the other. It's moving. The first idea of that I must have in my head is increase the distance, and in the time that I increase the distance, I deploy and strike. Okay tribe, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed the content. Don't forget, until next time, stay safe and train hard.